Hello and welcome to you all wherever you're watching. You've joined us here for our Group B match between Poland and Turkey. Tonight I'm joined by Oscar from Virtual Regatta and eSailing expert Lucas Moore. Oscar, it's good to have you here. How are you feeling about this matchup?
I don't really know what to feel. I think we're gonna have a very close match, Turkey versus Poland. I think they're pretty evenly matched, so excited to see what happens.
Yeah, me too, me too. And you're an eSailing expert yourself, Lucas. What kind of feelings do you think are going through these eSailers' heads at the moment? Stress, excitement, nerves? What are you thinking?
No, I think I've done the Nations Cup twice, and I remember that you always you know that yourself you're gonna try the best you can, but this is a team game, so you really gotta you're really dependent on your teammates that they also show up and do their best on the evening.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see it. And I think we've got the current standings for Group B coming up on your screen shortly, and we can see how the group is working out. We've got Italy in the mix there, Poland, Sweden, and Turkey, and we can see those on the screen there. So Italy, they've put in some dominant performances so far in Group B, but it's all still to play for. The results of this match, there's no givens for Poland, there's no givens for Turkey. We've still got two matches after this where it's all to play for. So without further ado, I think we'll head into the arena and get the show on the road. Now, the first matchup, the first format we've got here is a 2 versus 2 situation. We're in the star class. Now, Oscar, tell us a bit about the star. What can we expect?
So the Star class is a very slow boat, and its main advantage, well, the main competition is going to be on the downwinds battles, since it has a pretty big wind shadow. So we're going to expect a lot of aggressive plays in the downwinds. Probably one of the slower boats in the competition, though. So yeah.
Yeah, I love the star. I think I said this in the last match that I was commentating on, but I personally love it. I think it's great. It's always open racing to the last ditch to the finish line. So yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to see these e-sailers battle it out here on the virtual seas. Talk us through these start tactics, Lucas. What are you seeing with these boats as they jostle around before the gun goes?
It looks like Poland are in a very, very nice position at the moment. Both two boats close to the line, but they still gotta watch out for the Turkish boat coming from behind now, not getting hooked. It looks like we'll have a clear start, except for one Turkish boat with a penalty. But good start from the Polish. That was very lucky.
Yeah, they look like they're in control now, don't they? That is a great start from the
Orban
Polish.
really just managed to stick that tack. I don't know why I had to go tack, but currently Poland are in a very nice controlling position.
Yeah, it's looking good for them. If you're new to eSailing here, you can see on the left hand side of the screen the current leaderboard, and that is the positions of the boat as they stand on the water. We've got Poland in the blue, and Turkey in the black and red, looking very smart with their sails up, and we can see they're making their way up to the first mark of the leg. Why don't you talk us through the racing course, Lucas? What can we expect for the rest of this race?
So the star is a normal windward leeward virtual regatta course. Spreader mark at the windward mark, and then you go down through the gate, back up to the windward mark, and then down to the finish line. And these stars, they might be slow, but it's some of the closest racing I think you get in virtual regatta.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's always so open. No matter what leg of the course, it could be you could be stonking lead in the final upwind. It's still usually all to play for on that downwind because it's is it you're more of an expert at this than I am, Lucas. But is it roughly 50-meter lead that you need to extend out of that wind shadow?
Yeah, I think it's like 50, 60 meters, but it also depends on the wind strength. Like if we're in very
Ah,
low
okay.
wind, I have seen many times that if you're 60 meters in front, you're anyway going to get caught. Because,
Really?
yeah, if the boat behind gets some pressure, then you're screwed.
There we go. There we go. I'm picking up tips for Virtual Regatta as we go. This is great. I'm going to pick your brains more as we go through, Lucas. This is
But the
fantastic.
Turkish players are doing a good job, just staying close to the Polish boats, ready for the first attack on the first downwind.
Yeah, I mean we can see that the Polish boats have gone round in a nice 1-2, but as we've been saying, it's not for sure that lead they've got. It's all going to open up on this downwind, and this is where we see the Star really excel as they go around this second spreader mark, and we can see those white lines on the virtual seas there. Now these are our ley lines. And they show us our sort of most efficient route to the mark. But in team racing, there's a lot of jostling for position. We can put people back, and we can slow people down, and sometimes we do deviate from those lines. So we can see a little bit of a battle between I'm going to try and get these names right. Adegokan and Corbra right on this left hand side looking downwind, and they're looking like they're really taking each other to the side of the course to try and get the better one another.
Yeah.
Which boat would you like to be here, Lucas?
Oh, I'm not sure at the moment. I think both Turkish boats are in a bit of a bad spot at the moment. Both Polish boats have the starboard advantage. But it looks like we've split up the fleet in two groups. So it's gonna, at the moment, it's whoever gets last that loses. So, I think you just want to stay clear of penalties now and get ready for the final battle on the next downwind. So on the upwind is just all about staying close.
Totally, and you make a great point about the 2v2 format being a pretty simple format to figure out as a spectator and also as an e-sailor. It's whoever last loses, so it's quite a straightforward process. We can see Poland; it's all turned around there. Poland are now in last place, and they've got that last place. We can see how quickly that lead can change.
Yeah, and it looks like at the moment, Turkish is trying to keep one Poland player, like, slow him down all the way. I'm not sure it's the best tactic, because if I was Antila Kula, I would probably slow down at the windward mark and help my mate.
Yeah. It's a valid tactic. We'll see what happens. They might be saving it to the next downwind leg. You never know when it opens up a little bit more. But we can see our leader in first place, the Guler, Omar Guler. He is a community manager for Virtual Regatta, and I can see there's a few messages popping in on the Twitch chat. I'm not sure if that's Omar actually doing two things at once. If it is, it's very impressive. But he is out in the lead at the moment, controlling the Polish second place e-sailor there very well. And if you're in the chat, if you're watching us, please let us know where you're watching from and your predictions for the overall match. We'd love to know. We might share our predictions as well. What do you think, Lucas? Do we want to let the audience into what we think is going to happen?
Well, I just read through the Discord and I saw that Turkey are the only ones to beat Italy in one match currently.
So I wonder how that's going to play in Group B then.
So I think Italy's only got Sweden left.
That's correct.
Yes.
Italy only
Yeah,
has
correct.
Sweden left, and if we take last year as a reference, Turkey beat Poland in a tight match, 3-2.
There you go. Yeah. So
I think this first race is all about building your confidence for the next couple of races. Don't do too many mistakes, but of course you want to try and win as well. But as long as you don't get completely shattered by the other team.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And as you say that, we can see the Gula pulling off quite a big move there to try and slow up the Polish sailors, to try and let his Turkiye compatriot through. It didn't quite
it's a
pull
close
off, but he's made it a lot tighter than it was before. And he picks up a penalty. Wow.
That was unfortunate, but we're still quite far away from the finish line. And it looks like he's just gotten Antila Anquila back with a penalty. But he still has a couple of minutes to the finish, so now it's all about surviving.
This is going to come down to the wire now, isn't it? And the other two boats ahead of them have got clear of that wind shot. As we can see, that light blue patch on the water is a patch of less wind, which is going to slow your boat down. So you want to be out of that as much as possible.
Looks like Korba is actually slowing down his boat.
Yeah, is that a little bit of a contingency plan in case he needs to step in at the last minute?
Yeah, I think you would rather do it now, as he's doing, but because if you get too close to the finish, there's not much you can do. It's going to be interesting to see if Tan is going to do the same. Looks like he's currently just going for the finish.
Yeah, we can see Korba coming over to this left-hand side as we're looking at it. The reason why that is because if you want to have starboard advantage, which gives you right of way, and that is when your sail is often on the left-hand side of your boat and the wind is coming over the right-hand side of your boat. You have right of way, and people need to keep out of your way. So it's a very good tactic there, and we can see it's just coming down to the last finish here, and Korba's going to do all the work here to try and get Antilla through. Lucas, what's going to happen here? Who's going to take it?
So close for the Guler to get the overlap. Oh no!
And it looks like Poland are just going to take it. Oh,
he just didn't manage.
I love the star. That was phenomenal. All down to the last finish, and Poland take first blood. 1-0 Poland.
That was a close one.
It was. Oscar, how did you feel that went?
I can just feel the pain for the Guler. He was a bit alone at the end, and he almost pulled it off. And yeah, last minute, Poland put the penalty on him and can manage to cross the finish line before him. So 1-4 and 2-3 is actually 5 points. But since Turkey finished first, they lose this game.
Yeah, it's hard to get your head around sometimes if you're not used to team racing, but this 2v2 format, when we have a tie like that, it does come down to whoever is first place loses. So Poland take the first win. And there's a leaderboard to confirm it.
We saw that this time it actually made sense to stop your boat and go back and help your teammates for your 2 versus 1. So I don't know, the Turkish are maybe regretting a bit not doing the same at the moment.
Yeah, totally. And next up, we've got a little bit of a different format. Lucas, I don't know if you want to talk us through the 3 versus 3 format and what we can expect in the next one.
Yeah, the 3 versus 3 format is, I think it's a bit more competitive. It's a bit, well, both ends. I think if you get away with 2 boats, then the race is over. We've seen it a lot in the J70 in the past, that the good teams manage to just sail away right from the start, and then just extend their lead, and the third guy just brake checking everyone at the windward mark. But the offshore racer has a bit like a huge wind shadow downwind, so I think it's going to be hard to get away. But
yeah, and Oscar, I don't know if you want to talk us through the boat of the offshore racer. We've got an extra sail, haven't we?
It's a 3v3 offshore racer, so in the offshore racer, it's going to be again one of a slower boat, a very long boat as well, and usually that means also a kind of a tight fleet in the offshore racer. So we can expect the teams to kind of stick together and not have a huge distance between each boats. One of the regular misses in the offshore racer is not taking into account that this boat is quite long, and so we do regularly see some false starts in the offshore racer, so they will need to...
Well, we're about to see a start here. We've got 8 seconds to go, 6 seconds to go, and we've got Turkey pushing up behind Poland here to see who can nail the start. And it looks like we've got a penalty for each team to even out the scores there. And we've got 4 boats extending out onto the first leg. Who's got the upper hand here, Lucas?
I think still Poland. They have a Lazy Lady in a nice controlling position on starboard. But that looked like it was going to be a banger start for the Polish, but they just didn't have the time on distance right, and managed to get hooked by a Turkish boat and pushed across the line early.
It's a tricky thing in that the thing with starting and team racing is you want to either be pushing or you want to be leading, and that's the difference there. And if you're pushing your other team, you want to make sure that you're not pushing too late and you're behind, and if you're leading, you want to make sure you're late to the start. So it's a little bit of a funny tactic that we see different to fleet racing, but we can see the fleet heading out into this breeze on the left hand side, and it looks like there's a bit of a left shift as well, if I'm not mistaken, Lucas.
Oh, nice penalty from the Polish. That's going to be slowing down the leading Turkish boat. So Polish are back in the lead of this race, as it currently is.
Yeah, are we going to see a mark trap situation here, Lucas?
I think if Finn can get in on starboard and slow down the remaining Turkish boats, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that.
It's going to be
the
tight.
Polish
It's going to
boats-
be tight.
Yeah,
Oh,
doing
he
a good
picks up a
job.
penalty as well.
Yeah, but also a pen for a Turkish boat, which is going to get a bit bigger separation for the two Polish guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the Turkish boats who gave the pen to their other teammate.
Oh, a little bit of friendly fire. Never good. Never good when it's in team racing like this.
The
Yeah.
gap is not big enough currently to get away, I believe.
No, there's still plenty to do here. And in team racing, the 3x3 format, there's a few combinations, but the key thing to remember, for those of you watching at home who aren't familiar with team racing, the 3v3 format, you need 10 points or less. And the winning combinations, if you have the 1 and 2, anything else will win you the match. So Poland will currently win. If you have 1 and 3, also anything else would win the match. And there's a few other combinations as well, but those are the main ones if you want to follow along at home. And that is for the second race of this match.
Yeah, so unlike the 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, if you get first place, you might as well just hang on to it because it's so valuable in terms of points. Looks like the Polish have managed to pull away.
Yeah, they've really extended here, and it looks like Tim Janik is just covering Carfree here, which is going to extend their lead even more. And he's doing a very good job of covering the opposition. It's one of the main tactics that we see in team racing here, is just really putting the foot down on your opposition and not giving them a chance to breathe. And that's always very important, that kind of mindset when it comes to this racing.
Yeah, and I think now Finn, he can just try to slow down the remaining 2 Turkish boats. No need for him to try catch up to Carfree.
Yeah. And Oscar, put us in the mind of Carfree, for example, the leading Turkish boat. What are they going to be thinking, and what are they going to be saying in the team communications channel at the moment?
Well, they're in a pretty tough spot because, as you said, one of the winning combinations is having 1 and 2, so he really needs to stick to the Polish boats in front of him and try to slow them down so that his teammates can catch up and push these Polish boats back behind fourth place if they want to win. Though if you take Finn's position right now, he's going to do everything to mark trap both of the Turks to give more chances to his teammates up in front.
Yeah, I think what he's doing now is the perfect move. Just try make as much distance as possible to the top 3 boats. And he's done a really good job.
And he's done a great job of doing that.
Wow.
Can Carfree catch up in front?
Great move.
Looks like the Polish have been practicing. Especially also with the star move, and now nearly a perfectly executed 3 versus 3.
Yeah, put us in the shoes of a team racing team like this, Lucas. What did the training drills actually look like, and the preparations that would go on in a team like this?
I think of course you want to play with your teammates and get a nice chemistry and learn how your teammates play, but just sailing a lot of team races, maybe in Team Race League, I think that really helps to boost the team. I think in the first couple of years of the Nations Cup, the teams who played the most in Team Race League during and before the Nations Cup were also the teams winning. So just getting all the team race moves under your skin is very important.
Yeah, that's cool to hear. And we can see that Poland have taken that decisive first and second place, so that gives them a second point to their tally. And and takes them to 2-0 against Turkey. And Lucas, you mentioned the team racing league there. The team, some of the teams use to train, and if people are watching that and they don't necessarily know about the team racing league, how could they get involved?
Well, I think the link is somewhere over Discord. Well, you can always write me on Discord, Lucas Moore, at Lucas Moore. And I'm
There we
also
go.
in a World Sailing server, Virtual Regatta server, and nearly all Discord servers that are for eSailing, unfortunately. So my Discord's pretty busy.
You're an eSailing expert after all, Lucas, so it's, I think we'll allow you that. As we look at the standings here, we can see Poland are 2-0 up after the first two races in the mixed star and the offshore racer. Next up, we have the 4 versus 4 J70. I think the racetrack is going to be a little bit more busy with the 8 boats. Oscar, why don't you tell us a little bit about the J70 and what we
So
can
the
expect?
J70 is probably one of the favorite boats of the community. It's a very balanced boat, very maneuverable boat. So probably one of the more tactical boats in both upwind and downwind. So yeah, we can expect some good battles between them. These two teams, and it'll be Turkey's last chance to win a round and not give it to Poland, because otherwise they would have lost this match and be in a much more less comfortable position in the competition.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty decisive match for them. They've left themselves a lot of pressure here. Lucas, what are the team going to be talking about in their chat at the moment? Are they going to be pushing quite risky, or are they going to sail quite conservative? And this is Turkey I'm talking about.
Well, I think for both teams, you've got to be really aggressive in the start. You really want to try win, especially for Turkey. You want to try win this start and start in the controlling position. Maybe try get 2 boats away, if possible. I think Poland have showed two really aggressive starts and at least one of them. So Turkey really have to up their game if they want to claw their way back in this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's through no surprise that Poland are putting in a good showing. We can see Wary, the one of the Polish e-sailors there. He's a 2-time Polish e-sailing champion, so he's got a lot of expertise under his belt, and he's been around this game for a fair while. So who are we to expect anything else as we
and we
see
also
the
have
two?
Khan, 3-time world finalist, 2-time eSail GP finalist, and also 2 times national champ.
Yeah,
So
we've got a
there's
lot of
big
accolades flying around the
boys
start
in
line,
this
haven't we?
regatta.
After we start this match 2-1, and the gun goes, and we can see the two teams lining up across the start line, and we can see a Turkish player, commentator's curse there, picking up a bit of a penalty, but he's managed to shake it as he heads out to the right hand side.
Yeah, nice start from the Polish. 2 boats out in front, maybe 3. Really, when you're able to tack over on port and cross the fleet, that's a pretty decent start, I would say.
Yeah, we can see the Turkish all in a perfect line as I look down the fleet. They're all looking pretty even and fairly spread out the course, which looks to me quite conservative.
Yeah, and now that we are doing 4 versus 4, there's also a bit more combinations that you can do to win. So it looks like currently the Turkish are concentrating on keeping the 2 Turkish boats on the left behind them, and then just seeing what's going to happen at the windward mark.
Yeah, so the key thing for those of you watching on the Virtual Regatta Twitch channel, hello to you all again. And if you're watching 4v4 and you're not sure about the combinations, I believe if my maths isn't wrong here, Lucas, the 7, if you have 7 and 8, that always loses, and you want to try and keep your points 18 or less, and not last, and that should give you the win, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct. So you really want to, I think the Turkish, they just want to get to this windward mark. Still close to the Polish guys. Looks like at the moment they should be able to B5, 6, 7, 8 here on the left side.
Yeah, well, it's still all very open, isn't it? And I mean, are we going to see any mark traps here from Poland to try and cement their lead a little bit more, or are Turkey going to come back into it here?
I think the only reason I would do a mark trap if I were the Polish is if they can get one boat up into the top 4, top 3. But currently it doesn't look like they're going to have that. The Turks have done a good job at pushing the bottom 2 Polish boats around the racecourse. But we still do have Khan all the way out on the right. I think he's going to be important to having a good position at this windward mark.
Yep, he's coming in on that starboard advantage that we were talking about earlier. You can see that green circle coming around one of the Polish boats, and that means that Khan has right of way over that boat. So we will see how this plays out, and it looks like we're going to have 2 Polish coming through. Furmanski did a very good job of holding Khan up there, or Wary, sorry, did a very good job of holding Khan up there.
Just making sure that Furmanski could go clear ahead. But still neck and neck at the moment.
It's very close, and at the moment, as it stands, I believe with Poland in the 7 and 8 as they are now, they'll be losing. Turkey are in the lead.
Yeah, not much has to happen. You just need to get one lucky penalty, and then you're back in the top 6.
And talk me through the tactics here from Adagokan and Umut. Are they going to be trying to put these players in 7 and 8 even further in 7 and 8? Is that the right kind of play to do here?
I think they had 2 teammates really doing a good job controlling the 2 first boats, so just trying to get a bit more distance and just really shut them out from this race.
It looks like Adagokan has just given a penalty there to one of the Polish players, so that's quite good management at the back of the fleet here.
Yeah, Uma doing a good job. Oh, unfortunate penalty for Adagokan. But Uma was trying his best. Oh, double penalty for the Turkish.
That is not going to be pretty for them coming up on this next leg, is it?
No, you really want to try be in front of your opponent going around the windward gate.
That we really could just have witnessed this turning point in this match here, Lucas. That double penalty on Turkey looks pretty convincing there.
Looks like we might have a Turkish boat in the lead now, if the wind is in Khan's favor. We had one Polish boat that missed the gate.
Yeah, it comes down to those fundamentals, doesn't it? You got to sail around those buoys to get around the course, and yeah, sometimes it can be very difficult if you're concentrating on penalising your opponent or similar. You really got to make sure you have those fundamentals correct. And we can see the left-hand side of the course is looking a little bit more breezy, on a bit of a left-hand shift, but it's coming into right pressure here. So I'm not sure where I'd want to be on this course, Lucas. Where would you want to be?
I think at the moment I would just want to be in clean air. As it is team racing, I think you really gotta think that your teammates are gonna help you at some point. So if you can just race in clean air, then you should be fine. And it looks like Turkey has gotten the first position at the moment. We're gonna see how much damage Khan can do to bring his 2 teammates back in this race.
Yeah, it's nip and tuck, isn't it? Oscar, I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see what happens at this windward mark. I think it could be all to play for still.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. And as you said, Khan is a very good player. Cause you talked about all his eSailing accomplishments and real life accomplishments, but he also is one of our eSailing Olympic winners and finalists back in the OVS. So he is a very talented player. So I'm kind of waiting to see what he'll do at the mark. Probably try to mark trap the Polish boats around him. Might get a bit of help from the Guler up there as well.
Yeah, and I think at one point you just gotta trust that your teammates can hand out the penalties needed in order to overtake.
Yep.
Oh,
Here we go, the decisive moment of this third race in this match, sorry, and we can see a penalty being handed out by Can onto the Polish first place eSailer, and he's slowing him down. He's
looks
slowing
like
him
he's
down.
he's trying his best to slow him down, get the pack together again, and then we're gonna have a I think crazy final downwind.
Yeah.
And he's dished
Turkey
out
being
a double penalty on the Polish there, Can has. That is a phenomenal move. Phenomenal move.
Yeah, now he just has to trust that his teammates are gonna help him as much as he just helped them, but it doesn't look too good at the moment with a penalty for the Turkish.
Yeah, the Turkish have still got work to do here to stay in this match. This could be the decisive leg of the third race in this Group B match against Turkey and Poland, and it's
Doesn't
still
look
all to play
too
for in the
good at
final
the
group.
moment. Doesn't look too good at the moment for the Turkish. Currently, there are 2 Turkish boats and a Polish boat at the back, and we have seen a gap from the 3 back boats to the leading pack, which is not good for the Turkish at the moment.
No, it's not looking great at all. And
Well,
they're really trying to.
Kila doing a really good job in slowing down 2 boats at the same time.
So put yourself in the shoes of the Turkish team at the moment. What's going on in the race comms?
Maybe a bit stressed.
I would love to be in that chat right now, hearing what's going on. I think that would be absolutely fascinating.
I think
As
Khan and Lagula have handed out 2 penalties, or 1 penalty each, but it doesn't really help when your teammates are that far behind, unfortunately.
no, and it looks like we're just about to see a flurry of finishes here that is going to dictate the result of this match. And we can see Turkey have got a 1-4, and there's still to be decided what the rest of their team are going to get. And the match is over. We've got a Polish in 7th and a Turkish in 8th. And to my calculations, that's a Polish win.
Yeah.
They've just wrapped up this match 3-0.
Well, that was a close one. I'll give them that. But I think it was unfortunate that the Polish managed to get such a big gap. Of course, it was really good by the Polish, but unfortunate for the Turkish, as the 2 leading boats were just handing out penalties right and left.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I think the decisive turning point of that match was on that first downwind at the bottom, where we seen that lead change, and we really thought Turkey were going to come back into it, but it just got a little bit messy, didn't it? And that final downwind, which decided the result. Oscar, talk us through your thoughts of that match. How are you feeling?
That was a great last battle. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. All the work done by Khan and Omer at the front wasn't enough because Antila Kila did a great job at the back, slowing the other Turkish boats down. So yeah, Poland taking their revenge on Turkey compared to last year.
Of course, yeah, we had a 3-2 win from Turkey last year, so it looks like we're getting a little bit of a feud going between the Polish and Turkish eSailing teams, and I guess we'll have to check in again next year before we see them race again. So we go into the 4th match here with the 4th race, with the match already decided with a Polish win. We will carry out the remaining races as any good sportsman would. We have the 4v4 Ilka. And Oscar, why don't you talk us through what we can expect with this boat?
So the Ilka is the Olympic class boat, formerly known as the Laser, and so the only Olympic class in this match and in the group stage. In terms of strategy, it's a bit similar to the Star, though it's more maneuverable, and most of the battles are probably going to happen in downwind, as it's very fast on downwind leg, but also has this pretty lethal wind shadow.
I'm pretty slow in the upwind.
And pretty slow in the upwind, yeah.
You'll probably see some of the boats doing the upwind pump. But
Yeah,
it doesn't look like we're gonna have any port starters, which is also quite normal for the laser.
yeah. As we see the two teams racking up here with 6 seconds to go, it looks like we're going to have a pretty even start. Everybody is looking quite conservative on the line here, and the go
That was
gun.
a nice pump for Wary, just getting his boat up to speed a bit faster than Gekkenel, and resulting in him having to tack away. Good job by the Polish currently.
Just coming back on what
Yeah,
you said, Lewis, before with continuing the match as any sportsman would. It's actually not decided yet for either team. So Poland, if they want to be in a more comfortable position, need to keep winning these rounds. And Turkey, if they want to hope for the best, they also need to keep winning these rounds, as a decisive win or a narrow win might change everything in the future.
that is a fantastic point, Oscar. Yeah, as he said, the points do change if you win convincingly. You'll get 4 points as opposed to just 3 points for a narrow win. So, yeah, fantastic point. As we see a port starboard here between Burke, Abbey, and Finn from the Polish team. Looks like a little battle going on here, and Burke Abbey is a name I recognise. He is an Ilka sailor himself, who I used to race against. So it's nice to see his name on a scoreboard again. And he's actively competing in the Turkish class, and he's won the Turkish championships many times, as well as preparing for the upcoming Paris Olympics. The Turkish Olympic team. So yeah, good luck to Burke Abbey and his real on-water endeavours as we see him race on the virtual waters here against his Polish counterparts. Now we can see the wind is filling in on this right-hand side. Lucas, what's the lay of the land, and what team are we going to see lead round this one, Mark?
Currently, we have two, maybe three Polish boats in the lead. Depends on what Vary's going to do to Burke here. Looks like he's just going to give him an easy pen. And Finn is going to probably cross in front as well. And it looks like all the way out on the right, Formansky's also in a very comfortable position at the moment.
Yeah, we can see the Polish on the leaderboard that I've got here, taking the 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's looking pretty decisive for them around the windmill mark. But as we said earlier, the Ilka does have a wind shadow, as do all the boats here in Virtual Regatta, and it can be quite decisive. So we'll see how that plays out on the downwind. And it looks like Formansky is just doing a little bit of holding up there on Jack and Nell, and that's quite a good move there. Just trying to distance the space between himself and his competitors.
Yeah, exactly. This is the dream position for Formansky at the moment. He can hold up the 3 Turkish boats and try just increase the gap to the other boats. And looks like they're actually going to be out of range of the leading pack.
Yeah,
So
talk
good
about
job.
holding the weight of the team on your shoulders. And Formansky is
He's holding all of it at the moment.
He's doing a phenomenal job there.
Yeah.
We'll see if he gets caught by the hunting Polish coming either side of him and trying to overtake and get the better of him.
It looks
He's
like
going to have a
Burke is
tough
also
job on
doing
here.
a good job trying to slow down one Polish boat at least. But just lost the starboard advantage to Andres.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight on the overlap here as we watch these two boats battle it
Penalty
out.
for a Polish boat. So Turkey could be back in this race now if they play their cards right. Burke just has to do a really good job at slowing down Andres even more.
It looks like Formansky really played it quite tight on that lowered mark. But it looks like he's made it around safe despite his penalty. And as Oscar said earlier on, Turkey are playing for an extra point here, despite losing the match overall. If they win the remaining 2 races in this match, they'll pick themselves up 2 points instead of 1, giving them a narrow loss instead of a decisive loss. So it is still all to play for in terms of the greater Group B standings.
It still looks like the Polish are in a nice, comfortable position. Just have to go fast and not make any bad tacks, getting stuck at the wind.
And making sure to also keep your teammates clear of your wind shadow. We've seen it several times already of teams having a lead, but then slowing themselves down with a teammate covering another teammate.
Yeah, you always want to look behind when making attack.
That was always drilled into me when I was learning to tack in my little topper. The first
Here we
step
had it.
isn't push the tiller away. You got to look over your shoulder first, haven't
Yeah,
you?
same attack from the Polish. I was just about to say that you also got to be really clear in your communications on when you're attacking, so you don't have two boats attacking at the same time.
Yeah, a very good point. I think communication. I was speaking to Cube Arthur Vadam about this in a previous race, and yeah, he was very very clear that communication was such a key point of this team racing, and you're a team after all. You gotta know what each other's doing. And it looks like we've got a 1-2 rounding of the first mark from the Polish, which is going to put them in a good stead for this next leg. And there's still all to play for.
Yeah, now we actually see the complete opposite of the J70 race. Now it's the Turkish trying to hold back two Polish players with the two leading guys just sailing away.
And just to remind you, in this 4 versus 4 format, if you are 7th and 8th, that loses. So you got to stay out those last 2 places. And if that's not the case, it is. And we see penalties coming here, and it looks like Janeko is in a real tough spot here, really slow at that spreader mark and really fighting to get round. And it looks like the Polish have just executed a phenomenal move at that spreader mark, Lucas. What did you make of that?
Yeah, definitely. And now they're nearly getting one more boat away, but it looks... Yeah, you see the gap's just increasing now. Poland can live with it getting last place currently, I think.
That was a little bit of an unforced error there for Mensky, looking for that starboard advantage. He got the starboard advantage, but I think he just luffed up a little bit too aggressively and gave himself an unfortunate penalty there, putting himself into 8th position.
Yeah, now this is when the two leading Vary and Finn, they're just hoping that their teammates can do this on their own and not get 7 and 8, which it looks like they're currently managing. So
Andre's doing a phenomenal job of avoiding everything.
Yeah, zigzagging through the Turkish boats.
And that's Poland going 4-0 up. That's pretty impressive there, and I think that all came down from that move, that spreader mark, which set up a phenomenal downwind to put themselves sure of that extra point win. Oscar, that's 4-0 Poland. They're looking like they're walking away with this.
Does look like it, yeah. Well, they need to keep at it. You know, the last raid is going to be good practice for the upcoming teams after later on.
Yeah, absolutely, and that decides the decisive win for Poland with 4 points on the board. They will pick up 4 points on the overall Group B leaderboard. Now, where is that going to put them overall? They're currently at a score of 5. Add 4 to that, you've got 9, and they're going to be top of the leaderboard overnight. Pretty good stuff from them.
Yeah, now we're coming in to the final race. 3 versus 3 F50. I don't know, I think the F50 is a really good boat for team racing and virtual regatta. Tends to be some interesting races.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Lucas. The F50 scares me a lot. It's so quick, and I find it really hard to keep up. Yeah, I don't know if you got any tips for anybody who's watching, or me actually.
Well, I think first of all, you want to keep clear at the first spreader mark, at the reaching mark of any penalties, and then you gotta pray that you're not going to get hit on starboard at the bottom gate.
Yeah, better just go full send and hope for the best, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
totally
how I usually try.
And that's from an eSailing expert, everybody. Go as fast as you can and hope for the best. And we'll see who is executing that strategy in this race as we set up with the skippers on the virtual seas of Marseille, I believe we are, which is cool to see the venue for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, and a venue in virtual regatta in this Nations Cup as a result of France's win last year. Now, this race doesn't count for anything, so to speak. It's a little bit of a practice, and I'm sure these teams are going to be going head to head and really take it to the end of the finish line as much as they have in the previous races. We're 25 seconds out. We can see the breeze on the minimap in the top left. Where are you wanting to position yourself here, Lucas? Bottom of the line, top of the line? It's a reaching start. It's a bit different to what we've seen, isn't it?
Yeah, I think definitely not like behind someone as one of the Turkish boats have managed. The wind shadow is quite strong on the reach. You really lose a lot of boat speed. But looks like the Turkish are gonna be unfortunate
Oh,
OCS from one of the Turkish boats having to go
that was
behind.
gearing up to be a near
Oh,
enough
and that
perfect start for the
hits the
Turkish,
pin
wasn't it,
end.
without that penalty?
Yeah, hits the pin end as well. And as these boats are so fast, you're already, what, 200 meters behind? 500 meters behind.
Yeah,
So
but it looks like Cannes given a penalty to the leading Polish boat, so Turkey
if
could still be
Turkey,
in the chance here with a 1-2.
yeah, if they hold on to the 1-2, they're gonna get the win. But I wouldn't count out the Polish just yet. They've shown immense fighting will in the last
Yeah,
couple of races.
yeah. Just to remind those watching on our Twitch stream, that we're back on a 3v3 here, so the permutations and combinations of a win are a little bit different. So it goes back to the previous races we've had. It's a 1-2 anything, a 1-3 anything, and there's a few more, but the key is 10 points or less wins you the match. So Turkey are currently winning with a 1-2 anything combination.
Yeah, and as with any other foiling boat, you want to minimize attacks. So you really gotta read the wind perfect and
Yeah,
not
and
and trust that you're not gonna follow the other team when they decide to split away from you.
yeah, the number of those tacks is super key, and the numbers of those tacks within these funny lines we've got. Oscar, why don't you tell us a little bit about what these lines mean on the course? We've not seen them before today, have we?
No, we haven't. So these white and that green line, yellowish line, is the boundaries of the race course. So in the F50 course, we have these boundaries to kind of keep the fleet tight together and have this more aggressive plays and more things happening.
Yeah, and we can see Carthy and Can heading round this windward gate in a pretty strong 1-2 for the F50. They're looking like they've got a decent lead on the Polish.
Yeah, I think a perfect start from the two Turkish boats. Khan just handing out some penalties on the reach mark, and they're off. Nearly 600-meter lead.
Yeah, and we spoke about Can earlier on. Now he's a two-time SailGP Grand finalist in the very boats we're racing. So it's no surprise that he is taking the lead here and stamping his authority on the rest of the fleet. He's showing them how to do it, isn't
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit late to do it in the final race. But I think it's always nice to at least get one race win.
he? Yeah, I'm sure Turkey will be fighting just as hard as they have been before. And it looks like Poland have just picked up another penalty, which is going to strengthen that Turkish lead that little bit further, which is brilliant to see. I'm rooting for the underdogs now. I'm not going to lie, Lucas. I don't know about you, but I really want Turkey to get this point on the board.
Yeah, I think they've definitely showed in this race that they've deserved to win this one.
Now, if you're
So,
watching here on our Twitch stream, make sure to say hello and tell us where you're watching from. It's great to have you all watching here today. And as we head into this F50, we're on the third leg now, Lucas, aren't we? We've still got one more leg to go after this, and it's a reach to the finish.
yeah, so he's coming downwind to the reach mark and then back into the finish. And he should be fairly just cruise to the finish for the two Turkish boats.
Just looking back at Turkey versus Italy in the F50, uh, the F50 was the round that the Turkish won against Italy, their only win against Italy. So we can definitely see that Turkey is a big fan
They're
of
strong in the F50.
Of the F50, yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have your superpowers, but if your opposition have a few more superpowers than you, then it's not really going to do you any more favors than you need it to, is it? It's Poland have put in a really good showing here, and I think it's been a real team effort for them. And with the team makeups this year, each sailor in the teams can only race 2 events, which encourages a real team effort. And it's great to see
Encourages
Poland
teams to
taking the
practice
overall
as
win,
well.
but we've got Turkey taking the final win here and getting a point on the board with a 1-2 across the finish line. So congratulations to Turkey, but it's still a decisive win for Poland in this final race of this Group B match. Lucas, Oscar, pretty phenomenal, and I'm personally pretty glad that Turkey managed to get that point on the board. How do you think it went, Oscar?
Yeah, I'm actually also very happy that Turkey did manage to get this win. They deserve it as well. But let's not forget that Poland did play exceptionally well as well, and they fully deserve this win. So yeah, excited to see the next matches. I think Sweden is probably is going to decide what happens next in Group B. So just a confirmation of the score right now: Poland 4, Turkey 1. So yeah.
But Turkey
Next
has to win
match.
5-0 against Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden will have to win all of their games decisively, I think, for it to change anything.
Yeah, still all to play for in Group B. And Oscar, tell us when we can expect those remaining matches of the group stage to commence.
So we have actually 3 matches this Sunday. So first one is France versus Japan. This is the match that's going to decide who in Group A is going to be first and second at 3 p.m. CET Sunday. Next up is Sunday again, Germany versus Switzerland at 9 p.m. CET, the battle for 3rd and 4th place in Group A. 9:30 p.m. is Italy versus Sweden. So Italy's last game and Sweden's second game. So if Italy wins that game, they will be at the top of their group. Though if Sweden manages to win, they might reshuffle a bit how the group looks like. And the final game of this whole group stage is going to be on Monday evening at 9 p.m. It's Sweden versus Turkey.
Fantastic. Lots of games still to happen. I'll be tuning in, and I hope you all on Twitch will be tuning in again for these group matches. Thank you very much for watching. Congratulations again to Poland for their decisive win and topping the table of Group B. I've been Lewis Smith, your commentator for this evening, alongside Oscar and Lucas. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.